All right, can you hear me now? All right, I'm back here. See if you guys can hear me. I had to go through the another platform. If you guys can hear me, let me know. I'm trying to get this back in there. All right, maybe this one could work. Sorry about that, guys. See if you can hear me now. Maybe it works right now. Because I can't even hear myself, but can you hear me now?
Sports Nights with Jorge.
All right, fans, I apologize. Sorry, man. Mike, I'm sorry. If you back there, see if you can see me now. Hopefully, I should be back live now. Guess had some video difficulties. Sorry about that, brother. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me again. Try it one more time. All right, I should be back. Can you hear me, Mike? Can you see me? Can you? I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? I have another platform. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm sorry. I apologize to you guys. But I am back live. Dolphin fans, listen. Welcome once again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave your comments. Very important, guys. I was talking about all these podcasters, man, that I'm meeting. Great knowledge and understanding that they have, guys. Sorry about that. If you could get back in here, that'll be fine. Uh, don't know what happened on my end. Hopefully, you guys can really hear me. So, if somebody can hear me out there, let me know. Don't know what happened there. All right, I see Carlos. I see, okay, I see two. Mike, if you're out there, any Dolphin fans, if you want to come up, don't know where I went, but hopefully I'm in here somewhere. Don't know what happened to YouTube. I get something happened. All right, we're talking about Kader Kahu that apparently he's out for the year, but I think Dolphins should be good enough for what they have. I love the players, what they got. I got their the secondary, Jack Jones. I have no problem with Hilton, getting Hilton. Listen, you got to grind through injuries. That's every sports. Uh, hope you guys can get me back. I'm trying to get you guys back online. Don't know if it went through or not. Let me go check this a second, guys. Can you hear me? Anyhow, let me say what I was saying. I'm sorry, like I said, once again, I apologize. Don't know what happened to my system. I guess the heat. Anyhow, going back to today with 7-day training camp with the Miami Dolphins. Good news about the defense. They play well. Once again, they're competing with each other. They're not facing, different opponents. Weaver should know McDaniel offense, and McDaniel should know Weaver's defense. I mean, that's the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, It's just practice. Win the real pads, which I know they're playing with pads now, but the real pads in the game on next week against Chicago Bears will determine how well this offense is. I have no problem with the offense. Tua has not thrown interceptions in 7 days in training camp. That's good news. Our running back. I mean, we got solid running back, solid wide receiver. Tight ends questionable, but if they could sign a good tight end out there, I think they'll be great. Right now, hopefully, if you guys could see me or hear me, let me know. I don't know where my chat went, to be honest with you. But anyhow, I like what Zach Wilson is doing. Edwards is doing. The rookie quarterback. Anybody could be 2-3, 3-2. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep 3 quarterbacks in the team, so I'm not worried with that either. So it's just stay positive. I mean, Dolphin fans, don't freak out. Don't make it a big deal. I mean, they're going to have to overcome these injuries. McDaniel has a plan. So does Weaver. Listen, if I go back to the Miami Dolphins, okay, the past 5 years, the only questions I have: what did Grier did to help Tua Tagovailoa? That's my thing. What did he did to help Tua Tagovailoa? Where did he build the offensive line for Tua? That's the only complaint that I have for the Dolphins. Now, with the injuries that we got, and of course the retired Armstead, listen, I think Patrick Paul, 1 year already on his belt. Jonah, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I feel comfortable. I feel they're gonna have a good offensive line. I really do. That we need somebody else. Yes, we need somebody else. Yes, we do. I'm not gonna tell you we don't. That's the way I see it. And I know people, and I'm not saying people, fans, we're tired of losing, right? We are tired, okay? It's been, 25 years where I won a playoff, okay? We haven't won one, but we've been there, okay? We were there with Kansas City, we lost, okay? We were there with Buffalo, we lost. And we lost to the third string quarterback? So I look at all this, guys, is stay positive, remain positive. I think the team is heading to the right direction. We all said, get rid of, McDaniels if the season go bad. I'll be honest with you, it has to go through McDaniel and Grier. I don't have a problem with the owner. I think the owner has been serious enough to pay the players. My thought. So hopefully you guys could understand that. I mean, sometimes, sports is a business. And one thing I am tired of seeing, guys, me as a Dolphin fan, my personal opinion, is you signing all these big buck players, great players for big bucks, and they're not doing nothing in Miami. They haven't shown nothing in Miami for it. And you can say, well, their injuries. I understand all that, but I still firmly believe that. So But anyhow, going back to the Dolphins, I'll be honest with you, I see an 11 game season win, probably more, if they're healthy. You know, there's a if with the Miami Dolphins, right? If Tua is healthy, if the offensive is healthy. I mean, we could sit here and talk about every team if. I'm going to say something. The Dolphins, it's going to surprise a lot of people in the NFL this year. I firmly believe they're going to surprise. You know, I'm not a guy with numbers. Why? Because numbers for me don't do anything. For me, it's a W. And when I say that, I don't say that in the wrong way, guys. I tell you, you have great sports podcaster. You know, Ace Per Head, great. Mike, Chris, you got Dudley Duron, very people with good knowledge, good sports, information, TD Finns. You know, I'm not one of those to get excited because we signed a player and we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't go there. I don't see it that way, guys. Unfortunately, that's the way I see things. And not in a bad way. Okay, I don't see this in a bad way. I see this as a learning curve, a learning experience for the Miami Dolphins. You pick these players. We pick up Ramsey. Okay, can somebody tell me what the Ramsey did last year? The thing that hurt Miami is the moment that Greer started extending these contracts. The moment you extend the contracts to the players, what happened? Miami gets off to a good start, and then they falter at the end. The moment the Tua went down. Now, that was last year. That's the year before. Last year, okay, Tua goes down. I don't think McDaniel had a game plan. And he bought all types of quarterback to play for this team. What happened? It's not easy overnight to learn the system. So, for me, this is a chance for Tua to show up, to do what he has to do. I'm a firm believer in that. I think Tua has potential this year to have a breakout year. Tyreek Hill, the only thing I'm worried about Tyreek Hill right now, guys, and it's, do you start the season strong? Or if you start losing, which Tyreek Hill we going to get? Now, we hear so many things. He has matured, Tua has shown responsibility and leadership and telling him, listen, it's, one thing I talk about, pride and ego, so. Yeah, you can hear me? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It went down, it went back up, and we're having kind of bad weather down here. But thank you for joining. I appreciate it. But going back to what I was saying about the Dolphins, as fans, you got to give the team a break, okay? I understand that we haven't won over 25-year playoffs. And one thing is, you got to have patience. Listen, I think they're going to have a heck of a defense. I've been saying this since I saw who they pick. I mean, in the draft, they pick Keith, my God, the guy from Michigan. I'm bad with bad names. I'm sorry about that. But anyhow, Kenneth Grant. Sorry. I knew it was going to come out somewhere. Kenneth Grant. Okay, with him up front, with Zach Sealer, Chubb's healthy. Chubb's the rookie. What a rookie year he had, okay? At the beginning, we start saying negative things about him. You got to give a player a chance to play in this league. You can't judge these players by 8 games, 9 games. Give them a whole full season, okay? That's my opinion. I try to explain to you guys. That's what I see with the Dolphins. The Dolphins are about to surprise 2025 this year. I do see an 11-game season that they will win. 11-win season, probably more. Why did I tell you? Because the AFC, I totally agree. I totally agree, and that's right. And I see this in a way that, as fan, and I'm talking about the fan base here, because the fan base, we're so good of criticizing, right? We're so good of saying, well, Tua's not good. Well, Tua might be a top 10 quarterback, but Tua is 38 and 24 as a starter. Now, I said it earlier. I don't know if you didn't catch me early. What did Mike Greer did when Tua came in the league? Did Greer set him up with a good offensive line? No. We were signing defensive players. I don't see nothing good that Greer did to protect Tua. Now, Teron, yes, he retired. I understand that. But Teron was playing with so many injuries. I love the guy. I'm not taking nothing bad on the guy. All right? Now we got Austin Jackson coming back from injury. What do you hear from camp? Exactly. He's not an elite quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but not an elite quarterback. I totally agree with you. You know, he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not. But if you give Tua time, protection, hey, he could get us some wins. The key factor for the Miami Dolphins this year, I feel, guys, and it's that we have a good running core. We got a good receiving core. Okay? Now we got to get better up front. And, you know, I'm waiting for, this is what, Tua's 6th year? I'm hoping he break out and continue to, you know, to get healthy and get better. Let me tell you something nobody discuss about Tua. I'm not worried about the concussion. I'm worried more about the hip injury or the hip that he suffered last year. Remember, he's a mobile quarterback. He has to move on the pocket. Yeah, I got a list of, actually, now that you say that, I got a list of the top quarterback, and they got two ranked. I think, God, where do I have it here? Let me see. Hold on. And that's by ESPN. And I was looking at ESPN. I couldn't believe, you know, how they ranked Tua. But you're right. Let me see if I get this here. You know what's impressive for Miami Dolphins? Did anybody knew the Miami Dolphins offense last year? They were 18th in the league, which is terrible. 5,532 total yards, 325 per game. That wasn't good. Now, the defense, Miami ranked 4th in defense with 314.4 yards per game. That was 4th. Fewest yards allowed per game, of course, per game. So, oh yeah, man, listen, let me tell you a story so you know who I am. I was born 1966, where the actual Miami Dolphins, this is a true story, and I'm going to tell this to Chris when I see Chris. We're going to get together with Chris. I hope all of us get together, because Chris wants to know how I became a Dolphin fan. In 1966, I was born. I came to Miami in 1969. My dad took me to the first Dolphin game. Are you ready? 1972. Now, you're going to laugh when I'm about to tell you. How did I fall in love with the Miami Dolphins? The first thing I saw in the end zone was a dolphin swimming in the pool. I'll never forget that. I was 6 years old. And my dad took me there. And listen, I fell in love with the Dolphins. This is funny. It's a true story. Then I start meeting the players. Yes. Yes. I couldn't believe it, and I fell in love in 1972. And listen, I got, not here with me back here, but I got autograph from Don Shula. I got, actually, I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, this is Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas signed this. Zach Thomas signed this hat, and also one of the safeties, Louis Oliver, also signed this hat. It's amazing. I come from a long way. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I got into the podcast a year ago, and listen, going back to the Dolphins, and I'll go back to the Dolphins in a few minutes. That's how I knew the Miami Dolphins. And then in 1983, and I lived all my life in Florida until I moved to Georgia. I used to clean, believe it or not, the Orange Bowl on a Saturday after a UM game. Come overnight and clean the bleachers for the Dolphin game on Monday. Let me tell you who I met, which is amazing. I met Bob Greasy, because Bob Greasy was doing broadcasting at the time. Believe it or not, I met so many good players. Of course, now in different eras. In 1983, I also met Duper, Clayton, Dan Marino. Dan Marino had a restaurant in Florida. Also, me and my wife, we went there and we ate in Dan Marino restaurant. That's when they used to broadcast. Don't remember if you remember Hank Goldberg. If you never heard about Hank Goldberg, talk a lot about the Dolphins back then. Then, of course, Jimmy Cephalo, Joe Rose, you name it. I grew up with those people, and they were amazing people. I'm not going to tell you. It's a story that I would treasure all my life. People say, "Wow, George." I say, "Yeah, I can't forget that, man." Those are the times that I appreciate. My dad passed away, but I appreciate him taking me to see a Dolphin game. It was the most impressive thing I ever seen. Listen, it's amazing when they were called the no-name defense, right? Why they were called no-name defense? Because you don't know what Miami had there, right? These guys play for their lives. But now, of course, things have changed with physical and attributes and things that are going in the NFL, the weight room and the media and all that stuff. I mean, from now on, it's been a big difference. It's a big difference. But I tell you, I thank my dad for showing me, and I can name you everybody. Errol Morrill, I was like, wow, man, this is amazing. Don Strock, remember Jim Jensen? Jim Jensen used to go with us in the sideline. After we'll finish, we do the blower. He come in, he was making us laugh. That's how great a person he was. And he come and talk to you, comes to the field and talk to you. Back then, of course, we don't pay because we were doing the stadium, the Orange Bowl. And then, listen, I can go back with the Orange Bowl too with the Hurricanes. Bernie Kosar, Jim Kelly. Man, I could tell you so many things. I got too many histories. I'm not going to lie to you. The only thing is that the NFL has changed a lot. That's the only thing I could say, y'all. It is amazing, man. It is amazing. I owe my dad a lot of stuff, man. As a Dolphin man, I'm more realistic. I hear you on your podcast. I like when you say things. I like how honest you are. Same thing as everybody's different opinion. I love the way you see things. I'm not a number guy. Why? Because number for me. Don't get me wrong. I say this to everybody. Give me W's. I don't want numbers. Numbers are not going to do anything to me. I mean, look at Dan Marino. Never won a Super Bowl. For me, he's the best quarterback all time. People disagree. I'm a Brady guy, whatever. But I'm not that type of person. I've been a diehard Dolphin fan. But that's how I feel. I mean, I've been, like I said, Dolphin fan since 1972, and I could say a lot how the NFL has changed. That's another thing. The culture, the NFL, the commissioner, the drafts, all these players, man. Louis Oliver, Brian Cox. Oh my God, I got so many players. The Blackwood brothers. Hey, how you doing? No problem. Thank you for joining in. So, I look at all that. I'll be honest with you. I miss all that. I miss all that. And collectibles, I have collectibles all over, man. By the way, how's Alaska? I know you're in Alaska. You're working today, right? So, oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I hope I could join you and we all get together, man, because you guys are amazing. I love what you guys do. I've been following you for a while, but I haven't seen you. But I know you told me you were battling fires down there. So you know, but yeah, man, I got so much to yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it colder there now? Is it colder? Or is it still hot down there? Because it's 106 here. Yeah, the weather here is kind of crazy in Georgia. But yeah, man. Like I say, I've been a Dolphin fan since 1972. I mean, I couldn't believe that the year I was born. Oh, that's not bad. Well, I love the 65. I love the 82. We 106 here. We have a 106 today, and then we're supposed to have a cold front coming in, and cold front here is like 80 degrees. But yeah, going back to the Dolphins, man. I feel we're gonna have a good season, man. I feel positive. This is one of the years that I tell you, I feel positive, man. I feel that this team is gonna surprise a lot of team. I don't like what ESPN's saying about them. I care less about ESPN. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the way they talk about the Dolphins. It's so sad. I mean, they just want to rip somebody, people off. I don't get into that kind of media stuff, man. I just don't let it bother me. I had years, no, well, probably 6, 7 months ago, Stephen A. Smith and talking about the Dolphins about Tua and all that. Yeah, they got their opinion. They got their and I don't get into that, man. I just feel that Tua gets healthy. Tua will have a field day. I think the receiving core with Westbrook. Uh, I think Waddle has to have a breakout year. I'm not worried about Tariq Hill. The only thing I'm worried about Tariq Hill is if the Dolphin goes 0-3, this guy's go crazy. And I think that if that happens, they need to cut him loose. Unfortunately, that's how I feel, man. I hope I'm wrong, but uh, I think the Dolphins are going to have a good year. I'll be honest with you. I really do. I'm positive about it. Very positive about it. And hopefully, like I say, we make it to the playoffs. Listen to these players talking through the media. Uh, Tua was interviewed by CBS Sports, and he said it. He said, "What are your goals and your expectation?" And he said, "Go all the way. It's not about the playoff win. It's not about winning the division. I mean, it's actually everything, but he wants to go all the way." Yeah, it's easier to say than done when you say it. Some of the players says, "Yeah, I know the fans are frustrated because we haven't won a playoff game." But I think Weaver is heading the defense in the right direction. Now McDaniel, I have question with McDaniel. I think McDaniel with a new offensive coordinator, I hope McDaniel could alleviate some of that and give it to the guy and let McDaniel make the right decisions. That's how I feel. Because if you ask me, if McDaniel go 0-3, he gets fired. Yeah, but you see, I have confidence in Weaver too. I really do. I think he's a great. But remember, we have Flo. Flo was a defensive coach, and he had a great defense in Miami. But I guess he didn't like Tua. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mike McDaniel. Yeah, I think with Mike McDaniel, be honest with you, his first year he got here, and I saw the communication with the players. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, McDaniel first year, I think he was too friendly with the players. That's what I saw the first year. I mean, I don't mind you having music on your practice, but the way he was talking and my gosh, when he talks, man, I'm like, what in the world, McDaniel? Get to the point. I'm sorry, man. that's my feeling, man. Come on, just get to the point, McDaniel, because you talk so much. Just get to the freaking point. Yeah, because he talks and talks and talks. I say, come on, guy. I mean, we want to hear what's going to happen. When he talks, it's like he tells you a whole page of a story of a player. I don't need to hear that. Get to the point, get it done. But see, that's what happened to him last year. He got too comfortable. Players did whatever they want. Yes, oh my gosh. When he goes, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. When he goes that, with the Dolphins, and it just make me laugh. I'm sorry. I mean, with all respect. Hey, how you doing? So, I don't know, man. I mean, this is it for him. Either he takes his team to the playoffs. I mean, that's what we probably want. I really don't want that. I want to go all the way, man. I want this team to succeed, man. I want Tua to succeed. I just want to break this down. Like, hey, man, let's get the guy opportunity. So. But that is my opinion. I mean, I know everybody has different opinion because I'm gonna tell you the criticism, what's gonna come, it's gonna happen. It's part of the NFL. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. I mean, I try to tell everybody that have patience. We gotta have patience with the Miami Dolphins. We gotta have patience. Stay positive. Have patience. We cannot go ahead and assume the Miami Dolphins. Listen, Weaver, once again, you said it. I think he's top notch. I think you give this guy a coach, he'll get well respected. McDaniel lost that little edge there, but, to come at the end of the season and tell us, hey, I think I was too soft for the team. And then what of course Tyreek Hill did at the end of the season, which I don't like to bring it back. If that was me, I'll be honest with you, Tyreek Hill will not be with the Dolphins uniform. You don't walk out on your team. You don't do that. And that's my opinion. Once again, I mean, everybody has different opinion. I don't care how good receiver you are. I don't care. But here's another thing. The Dolphins has paid too much money to these players to come to Miami to perform. And so far, I haven't seen no performance. He might have his yards. I mean, look at Tua best year passing 2 years ago. Okay? Part of that was Tyreek Hill and Waddle. But if you take Waddle and Tyreek Hill, what did Tua has? That's the question. Let me ask you a question. Do you like Mike Gesicki? I love Mike Gesicki. And listen, what a year he had with Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, with Joe Burrow. Yeah, I mean, well, and I agree with that. He had to do that because, you besides you making the big bucks, Yeah, I love Gesicki, man. I don't know why, but and that's another thing you said. I mean, he approached Ramsey and said, "Hey, man, you're a leader. You're in this defense. I need you to do this." And Ramsey just backed up and said, "I'm not doing it." And I'm glad that he man up for that. But he need to also man up with Tyreek Hill and his whole team. That's one thing that really, hurt McDaniel. Which, listen, I do see a positive year for the Dolphins, man. I really do. I see something good happening for this team. Finally, like I say, 2025. I don't know why. I just got this gut feeling this team is about to surprise a lot of team out there. I know the schedule looked kind of tough at the end of the season. They said they got an easy schedule. Listen, looking at the schedule, and I don't predict because I wait to actually preseason and I look at injuries and I look what they have because that's what I do my prediction. By the way, I'm gonna tell you something. I predicted the NFL last year, and I won over 186 games and only lost like what, 70 something. It's amazing. Yes, I totally agree with you. I don't care what ESPN said. I don't care what any sports channel says. I mean, and I respect, I love everybody. The Dolphins are there to win it this year. And I'm telling you, I think, listen, that division, that's why I told you on your podcast, the AFC East is wide open. I saw Buffalo. I look at their roster, and like I say, I'm like you. I don't talk about other teams. I really don't. But I look at their roster. I look at the Jets. I look at New England. Listen, if you ask me the best roster in the AFC, besides the quarterback edge, I give it to the Buffalo Bills with Allen over Tua. It's the Miami Dolphins. Looking at the roster, I think we got better edge rusher. We got good running backs. We got good receivers. We got good defensive tackle. The front five of the Dolphins. I mean, just the front fives. Listen. If Jalen Phillip stay healthy, if Chubb stay healthy, listen, I'm not worried about the Dolphins secondary, and I'm gonna tell you why. You put pressure up front, and you sack that quarterback, you're not gonna have time to throw the ball. So I'm not worried of the Dolphins secondary or cornerback or safety, because I think Mika's gonna be an All-Pro. I think that was the best thing they did. Yeah, listen. I look at their defense. Not bad, not good. I'm not saying they're but I feel that I feel Allen. I mean, it's gonna have to be Allen's leg. Yes, yes. I believe that Grable, the new head coach, I believe that he's gonna get the best out of his player. Remember, McDaniel is 0-2 against Grable, and Tua hasn't beat him either. So that's going to be a test because Tua was undefeated with Bill Belichick. So that's one thing I was looking at too. So Tua always beat Belichick, but with Grable, he's 0-2. They haven't beat the, of course, when he was with Tennessee Titans. And that's going to be very interesting too because 2 of the 3 games opening the season is with the AFC teams. It's with New England and you're right. I mean, Miami has to go at least 4-2 in their actually division. If they go 4-2, okay. The first actually, I was seeing the first 7 game, Colts, Patriots, Bills, Jets, Panthers, and Chargers and Browns. They could go easily 7-1, easily 7-1 or 5-2, either or, starting the season. But of course, it's too early. I don't make prediction. But looking at the schedule they got, because this defense, man, I'm telling you, Weaver defense is going to be a beast. I'm just telling the NFL right now, man, to all the NFL teams, be careful with Miami defense. I'm gonna be honest with you. Chubb's coming back from injury. Phillip coming back from injury. Chubb's the rookie. We know what he did last year. Okay, Keenan Grant. I mean, of course, we got to sign Zach Sealer. We got to get a contract on that man. Okay? And that's going to open up more, of course, more cap space for us. We're already at $12 million. So they could sign probably another cornerback. Who knows? But listen, I like Storm Duck. I mean, I like Jack Jones. I know Storm Duck got injured. I like Hilton. I think Hilton was a good pick. I mean, a good signing for them. I mean, this team on the defensive side, I have no problem with it. On the offense, I have questions. Just not much question for that. Questionable, but Their defense, man, I'm gonna say it's gonna be hard to beat, man. I have them at top five, at least top five defense. I mean, even though George, well, they have injuries. Who doesn't have injury? Like you said, every team has injury in the NFL. My only thing is, do you have a backup plan? And I think Weaver has a backup plan. Now, on the other side of the ball, when it comes to McDaniel backup plan, I'm questionable on that one. I mean, not too crazy with Zach Wilson. I like the rookie quarterback, Ewers. I like him better than Zach. But what you're hearing in camp, Zach Wilson is doing pretty well, but that's camp. So that's the only thing that I'm worried about the Dolphins. It's the offensive side of the ball. It's not the defensive side of the ball. I'm okay with the defensive side of the ball. Probably Chris from Ace Head would probably tell me, George, you get excited, but I'm not gonna get into the negative stuff, man, because this team, the media has put this team in a position that, everybody lost confidence in them. Everybody don't believe in them. Well, you know what? I like that. Put the Dolphins the way you want to put the Dolphins at. Because I'm going to tell you something. The Dolphins are about to take the AFC East. And I'm going to call it here right now. They are going to take the AFC East. Might be wrong, but I see them taking the AFC East. Because I see the AFC wide open. I thought about it. If Allen goes down, who's the backup quarterback for Allen? Oh, man, I love him. Listen, Curtis, oh, my gosh. Yeah, every time I say, hey, man, when you have time available, George, to get together, you see what happened? I'm like you. I got a full-time job. I work Monday to Friday from 7 to 4. I try to do this. I try to go live, once a week, twice a week, and on the weekends. I do more stuff on the weekends. And Curtis says, hey, when are we going to get together? I say, man, pretty soon, man. I love Curtis. I love his knowledge. I love his and I love the way he tells you the truth. It's like you. You come in and you say the fact. You say how you feel. You believe how you see it. Yeah, you're going to have people disagree. Yeah, you're going to have people if you don't know football, sometimes people don't know football as much. But I'm the old school. I'm not the young guys like you are, but I'm the old school. But I can see the difference between Dan Marino era and this era. It has changed a lot. It has changed a lot. So, and then I look at all these coaches, I look at all these quarterbacks that Miami had through the years. One coach I like, I don't know if you like him, was Dave Wannstedt. Dave Wannstedt, for me, was a good head coach, and people didn't like Dave Wannstedt. And I said, wow. Jimmy Johnson, not too crazy with Jimmy Johnson. I don't think Jimmy Johnson never liked Dan Marino. Well, you're young, brother. I'm 58, so I'm 58. And it's amazing, but I look at the Dolphins. Joe Sperano, my God, Sperano with a Wildcat, with Ronnie Brown. I come back. I say, my God, that was a great offense, but they couldn't go nowhere. Okay, Adam Gates for me was a joke. I could bring all the coaches. I like Dave Wannstedt, great coach. It's sad. Then you had Campbell. Okay, Campbell came in. Look what he does. He goes to Detroit, and he takes Detroit to the playoffs. Sometimes you got to give these coaches an opportunity and chance to coach the team. Now, I don't have no complaint with the owner of the Dolphins. A lot of people do. This man opened his paycheck, his book, and he signed any player. But I got a feeling that he's tired of signing all these good players and they'll see no results. Because, man, we had good players. We had good players back then. And if you look at it now, we were so close a couple of times. I feel bad for Dan Marino, 1983. Goes to the Super Bowl second year, a rookie year, second year. Against who? Joe Montana. My God, a legend. He was facing a legend. That is tough. And it's sad that man never had a Super Bowl since. It is so sad. But I still believe he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Why? Because he broke records that was never meant to be broken. He broke them all. So, And that's how I feel. Unfortunately, Dan the man, you know. And I hear him talk about Tua, and he thinks Tua will win the Super Bowl for this team. Well, I hope he does. You know what? A question that was asked to me the other day. If Tua goes to the Eagle and he wins the Super Bowl, how would the fan feel? Or if he goes to a big offensive lineman, if he goes to Kansas City, they were saying, I said, George, what do you think about that? I said, well, you got Barkley as a running back in Philadelphia. Tua as a quarterback. Great offensive line? Maybe. Who knows? Because that's one thing about the fans. If that happens for real, oh my God, then we're doing something wrong in Miami. And listen, when McDaniel when McDaniel got here his first year, and like I told you earlier, and I see the way he was coaching. Okay, because listen, if you look at this, since Miami scored 70 points versus the Denver Broncos, and you know this because I know your knowledge is good, Miami hasn't scored no more than 30 points since then. Their offense went south. I thought we were playing John Madden game when Miami hit 70 on Denver Broncos. And this is where I think McDaniel failed, right? Because what happened, he has to understand other team adjust. Okay, other team adjust. They look at your plays. Okay, everybody knew that Waddle in the middle, Tariq in the middle. Hello, guy. Listen, I feel bad for Jonnu Smith. Great tight end. Left us, right? Why? Because, listen, and I hate when they said, well, Miami couldn't pay. No, listen, I don't believe Miami couldn't pay him. It was too much money for $12 million. His best year came from Atlanta. Listen, McDaniel, we know this. He's not a tight end coach. He never liked tight end. That's why he traded Gesicki. That's the fact. That's the truth. All right? Which really pissed me off when he traded Gesicki. I mean, one of the top receivers, great catches, one-hand catch over the field. Come on, man. Okay. Now, what happened? Defense come in and play Miami. Hey, McDaniel, brother, change the scheme. Change it. You're not changing the scheme. You're making the wrong decisions on the field. And he's been doing that since what? The last 4 years. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. An extra lineman. I need a guy to block. Well, no wonder Jonnu Smith, 890 yards? Broke the tight end record for Miami. I'm playing in Miami. Well, you know why? Because they knew Tyreek Hill was covered. They knew that Waddle was injured. That's another thing. Waddle, man. What has happened to Waddle lately? The Penguin. He get injured too much. And that's what I'm saying. I'm praying that Waddle will have a break year this year. And between Tyreek Hill and Waddle, get over 1,000 yards. Tight end, I hope to sign the guy from Seattle. That'd be great. I mean, it's a good acquisition. I mean, we have not bad tight ends. The guy that we picked that has retired and came from the Giants. Yes. I think Greer decision of signing Jonah and making that trade in the round that he was smart about it and got Jonah before New England get him or whoever was getting next on the draft. That was a key thing. But you still got to build, man. Listen, we need 300-pound linemen up front for Tua. I'm gonna be dead serious. Maybe you quote me wrong, but I mean we need big guys up front. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you do, yeah, me too. I was excited, man. I listen, when I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, finally we got an offensive lineman for Tua," and he was so happy to join Miami. Yeah, we knew the contract took so long to sign him, but hey, what can I say, man? I mean, listen, let's stay positive. Oh, that's great news. You see, I haven't got that's great news. That is great news. Let me tell you, I seen Daniel play with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This guy is a good run blocker, and he's had good protection. He has a little bit of Teron Armstead. I seen his videos. I mean, he could open some holes. I'm gonna tell you right now. He did it to Najee Harris before he got injured and torn ACL. I mean, Pittsburgh is running the ball with that guy. He is good. He is good. And we pray to God that, once again, he doesn't get injured either. I mean, I understand his practice. You know, people talk about practice, right? And let me bring this up because I want to tell this to a lot of Dolphin fans out there. When you practice with each other, okay, it's different when you practice with other teams. Because you cannot tell me that Weaver knows McDaniel way of running an offense. That's why they're having a good time in practice now. Now the offense is struggling, not all the time, sometimes. Okay, but let me tell you something. With Jalen Wright, and one guy that's even doing better is that the guy from the Raiders. Who, man, this guy. I don't know about Ali. Ali is struggling. Our rookie, he's struggling. But him and Jalen Wright and A-Chain is just killing it in training camp. Once again, my concern with A-Chain, concussion. Stay healthy, guy. Stay healthy. You know, yeah, Madison. That's it. Thank you so much. My God, I'm telling you, I had to get used to these names. Madison is a beast. He's looking amazing. So this guy, in shortage situation, it's a plus for Miami. I mean, listen, like I say, man, this offensive line getting healthy, Tua back on track, and this backcourt. Listen, I saw Jalen Wright, the running back. He was on a podcast on YouTube also. This man is completely cut. I mean, he is completely built. He has lost body fat. He said, no. This is a year I'm coming in. Yep. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna leave it to this because this is great for the Dolphin fans. Because you got Dolphin haters, you got Tua haters. Let's be honest, okay? You got. You know, I have a podcast that I did probably a year ago. It's called Fan and Fanatics, right? And listen, get ready for the 2025 Miami Dolphins, because all these people are gonna be surprised. Okay. This is going to be a power offense that I'm gonna, and maybe I'm predicting early, okay? That with the defense that we have, okay, it's going to be hard to come back for this team. Okay? I feel that for real. I feel for the Dolphin fans. Get ready what's coming for 2025. Okay, you listen, I understand injuries once again. I understand. But let me tell you something. Where Weaver defense and Tua with a healthy offensive line and these running backs and these wide receivers. Listen, I'm going to tell you another one I haven't talked about. Westbrook. You know? Hey, what's up, Curtis? What's up, man? So, I got a feeling they're going to be great, man. I got a feeling, you know, I want to tell these fans, man, don't give up on your team, man. So I feel that Miami is going to surprise a lot of people. Hey, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? I feel Miami is going to surprise a lot of people, believe it or not, this year. Yes, we have questions over the offensive line. Yes, we have injuries. But once again, every team has injuries. I feel now that McDaniel needs to step it up. Greer needs to step it up. And listen, the fans, relax, sit back, and see what we have. Because I'm going to tell you right now, looking at this core, once again, I'm going to say, running back core, wide receiver core, the defense, Weaver, oh my gosh. Guys, I'll be honest, they look good. Yes, you're right. Bills and Pats, they have injury left and right. Yeah, and you know I don't wish nobody to get injuries, but I was telling Frozen Finn here, the AFC is wide open. The AFC is wide open. There's no way. I don't see no team there. I think the Jets are going to be terrible. Justin Fields dealing with that toe injury, even though he went back to practice. New England, listen, at the worst case scenario, the moment they signed the wide receiver from, they had trouble. What's the name of the wide receiver from Buffalo? God, I'm telling you, I'm bad with names today, because I've been reading so much Dolphins today. I don't think they can match Miami. I don't think none of these teams can match Miami on that point of view. I don't see Buffalo receiving core better than Miami. I don't see the Jets receiving core better than Miami. I don't see the running backs better than Miami. Now, what's better for the Buffalo Bills? Like I told him, it's going to be Allen. Josh Allen over Tua anytime. But I don't know, man. I'm so excited for the 2025 season. I don't know why, man. I got something good that's going to happen to the Dolphins this year. I'm tired of all these nonsense ESPN, and I'm sorry to say that, bringing down the Dolphins, which for me is better. Continue to talk bad and negative about them, So, I'm being honest, Curtis. I told Frozen Finn fan, man, we get together, three of us one day, and and let these fans, because you got fans and fanatics, man. Yeah, practice. With practice, that I see with that is that you're facing each other. You see, you're facing your own teammates. My practice is I want to see them, preseason game, or of course they're going to practice with the Chicago Bears, or either Chicago Bears, or is it Chicago, or either the Jacksonville Jaguars. Somebody's coming down to play them. Anyhow, I want to see them get the pads and play with them. With each other, the way I see it, and don't get me when I say it's wrong, they know each other. Weaver knows McDaniel, McDaniel knows Weaver, and that's the way I see it. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, right. That's what I want to see. Everything in camp looks good on the offensive side. Yeah, we had some hiccups there, but I want to see. I want to see when they really play players. Play teams that they have to. Okay, let's look at the Bears. Let's look at the. Okay, there you go. There's your test, and I'm gonna say, man, Weaver has a heck of a defensive team. I'm not worried about the secondary. Once again, I like Hilton. I like Jack Jones. I know there's injury there, but I can't see nothing bad about Weaver. On the offensive side, yes. Like I was telling what do you call it? Frozen Finn that hey, there's questions there. But listen, Jonah is doing well. I'm gonna tell you who has impressed me in camp. It's Patrick Paul. And he's playing well. He's Dirk. That's it, Dirk. I gotta get names here, man. I know your name, but I gotta get a name by Curtis. But listen, I know something's good happening to the Dolphins, man. I can see it. I look at the schedule. I look at the first 7 games, and I was telling Kurt, they could go 5-2, so they could go 7-1. Okay, they do play 2 divisional teams. The good thing is they're playing an early game at Buffalo, which is a good thing. It's not a cold weather thing, which is a good thing. They got the Colts. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy either. They got New England, Grable. Remember, McDaniel's 0-2 against Grable. So is Tua. Tua has not beat Grable at all. All these tests that Miami is going to have to go through at the beginning of the season. After I break down the Jets, the Panthers, the Chargers, the Browns, the Falcons. By the way, I am going to the Falcon game, and I'll probably be live. I'm going with my wife, and that's going to be in October. I told my wife if she wants to go with me. She goes, yeah, let's go see the Dolphins, because I'm here in Georgia, so I'm only 4 hours away from the Atlanta stadium, the Falcon Stadium. So those are my goals. So taking the wife to see a football game. It's been a while. I miss my Dolphin in Miami. But anyhow, now that you're here, Curtis, I was telling Dirk about how I became a Dolphin fan. I'll make it short for you. I was born in 1966, the same year the Dolphin was being presented to the NFL. In 1972, my dad took me to see the Miami Dolphins. How I became a Dolphin fan, this is true, this is funny, it's going to make you laugh. When I saw the little Dolphin at the end of the end zone swimming in that pool. True story. I said, what in the world? I came here to see a Dolphin swim in the pool? But it was actually a real football game going on. Yes, I was there when the Dolphins were undefeated. Yes, I was there. I was 6 years old. I remember 7 years old growing up. I just showed Dirk a hat here. This is a hat signed by Zach Thomas and Louis Oliver. Believe it or not, it's amazing. This is Zach Thomas' first game as a Miami Dolphin. I mean, I could say a lot. And then in 1983, of course, I'm jumping a little ahead. Yes, in 1983, Curtis, I met Bob Greasy in a tunnel. And I'm going to tell you what I was doing in 1983. I was in high school. I had a part-time job. And what we used to do is on Saturday after a UM game, by the way, I'll go on that one there at the University of Miami. Yes, I know Jim Kelly. I know Bernie Kosar, Vinny Testaverde. I could go on, but I'm going to make it short for you. We used to clean the stadium at night with a blower in the bleachers so the Dolphins could play on Sunday. It was the most beautiful experience that I ever had. Okay? And that's where I started meeting the players. Jimmy Cephalo, Kimball Camper, Bon Howard. I mean, I could call names. I say, wow, this is incredible. These guys were huge. When standing in front of Bob Greasy, it was huge, man. And then, of course, Jimmy Cephalo, Mandich, who passed away. Great, I love Mandich. Yeah, it was great. You know, I don't know if you used to have WIOD, the broadcast. He used to say, "All right, Miami." Remember that? That's what he used to say. So I grew up with those people, man, and it was amazing. I don't know if you know Hank Goldberg, which now was doing horse racing. Hank also used to broadcast the Dolphins. These are the people that I met when I was down there in South Florida. So 58 years old, and brings me a lot of good memories. A lot of good memories. And I could go on and on, man. It's just great, great, great stuff, man. It's real football. I'm not saying that, what we got now, yes, it has changed through the years. We know that. But, man, I miss that. Dan Marino, 1983, goes to the Super Bowl, faces Joe Montana. Remember David Woodley? Oh, my God, David Woodley. Never forget, I went to see John Riggins killed us in the Super Bowl, running the ball. All we need is one freaking stop. Kimball Camper could not make the stop, and he goes right through and beat us with. I could go on and on, man. And these actual games that I went to, my dad took me to. It's amazing, man. Just great memories. That's all I can tell you. Great memories. I could tell you a lot of stuff. It's just amazing, man. I miss all that. I'm not going to tell you. I don't. But now we're in a new era. I look at the quarterbacks that has gone through this team. I look at all the coaches that has gone through this team. My God, man. It's now with McDaniels. Yeah, I thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. Now with McDaniels, I was telling him I don't feel comfortable with McDaniel. I'm not saying that he's not doing a good job or bad job. The credit to give McDaniel is what he did with Tua. All right? Because if Flo would have stayed here, because remember, we know that story already. Flo wanted Herbert. Okay? Greer took the other direction, and we took Tua. All right, 5 years. 5 years, the man has missed 11 games. Okay, his record is 38-24. He's a winner. He's not elite. But let me ask you a question. If he won the Super Bowl this year, is he an elite quarterback? Because let me tell you one subject that we haven't talked about, which is incredible. How long Allen been here? And how long Lamar Jackson been here? What, 6 years, 7 years in the league? Well, Hurst won the Super Bowl last year. So we might have two great quarterbacks and never win a Super Bowl. And they got a great team now. The Ravens are a great team. The Buffalo Bill. You know, I believe in open windows and closed window. Okay? San Francisco. Open window when they, you know. Yeah, that's true too. But there you go. But these are elite quarterbacks. These are quarterbacks that won their division, but has not taken them to a Super Bowl. But here comes Hurst in Philadelphia, which I understand they, you know, with A.J. Brown and Barkley, yeah, they had a heck of a team. Okay, but there you go. You know, and it comes with coaching. I believe with coaching and chemistry. Okay, but McDaniel, listen, since we scored 70 points, and I was telling that to Dirk, that we haven't scored no more than, 30 points? Since 70 points against the Denver Broncos? Oh, yes. I agree with you. Yeah, Hurst. But you see what I'm saying? What I was telling, you know, Curtis, is that you got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, both MVP winners. Both are elite. Haven't gone to a Super Bowl. Oh, man. That is so true. Right? Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, this is it. This is gonna be our year. This is where we're gonna break out. And you know what? Open that bottle of champagne, whatever wine, whatever you drink, and let's celebrate. Because this is it. I mean, there's no more for McDaniels. There's no more for Greer. I want to be honest with you. This is if I mean, will McDaniel go first in Greer? Probably. But my honest opinion, they both should go. You know, that's how I feel. And I know one has to go, so probably be McDaniel. If they start the year slow, you'll see that happen. Listen, I remember when you remember Joe Robbie? Joe Robbie used to be the GM, or the owner of the Dolphins. Oh my God, Don Shula. Oh my gosh. And don't talk about Don Shula, because I tell you that man was amazing. I got Don Shula stories that you would not believe, but and this is by coaches. I mean, by coaches saying how the way Don Shula played the game, how well he was when he was a coach players. You know, you have players that had injuries, and these were true stories that players were saying about it back then. When you play with Don Shula and you say, "Man, I got a headache, I'm hurting," and all that, man, get back to the field. Get back to the field. Take this couple of aspirin and get back to the field and go play. You had players with I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a true story. With toothache, with body aches, go back to the field and play. This is just so true, man. I'm saying, wow, you know, wow. And nowadays, you know, injury are so critical. Injury are so, you know, Curtis. One thing I'm worried about too, and I told that to Dirk, is his hip. I have a question with his hip. Why do I say that? I'm going to say why I say that. Why would you sit a quarterback? Because he would have jeopardized himself the last 6 games of the season because of a hip crack. He had a crack on his hip. That, for me, had me thinking. Not so much about the concussion. So you're going to tell me he's going to play this year, he get hit on that hip, his history? Just a saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I like Jalen Hurts. I like Daniels. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a guy I do like, the guy from Houston, C.J. Stroud. Yeah, you're right. His body is not for that kind of thing. I like C.J. Stroud too. That's one quarterback. Nobody. That man took his team twice back to the playoffs. What the first two seasons? C.J. Stroud. The only thing is now you took Tomzl and you traded Tomzl, and now the guy got what sack. Got in the final game of the season. I mean, he got beat up so bad. But C.J. Stroud's amazing too. These young quarterbacks coming out in the league is very, very, very smart. To be honest with you, very good quarterbacks. I think Allen, Lamar Jackson. Listen, Herbert. These quarterbacks. I'm gonna tell you a quarterback I like, but I think he's too cocky. It's the guy from the Bengals, Joe Burrow. I mean, I would like to have him in the Dolphins too, but Joe Burrow also is too cocky to me, man. I like a quarterback to be straightforward and care about his team. All these pride and egos and selfishness. All right, brother. You have a nice one, man. Thank you for joining in. Enjoy the movie with your family, and I'll catch you on your podcast soon. But thank you so much, brother. Have a good night. Thank you, bud. And with Joe Burrow, can he win or make it out to the playoff with the team that he has? I don't know. I don't think. They don't got defense. That team don't have defense. Now Joe Burrow could put 50 points on you, but But let's see what happens. But like I say, I'm like you. I don't talk about other teams. That's their team. I'll talk about my Dolphins. I love my Dolphins, and I'm still a Dolphin fan. Lose, win, or draw, it doesn't matter. I'm still a Dolphin fan. So, but anyhow, I want to thank all you guys that have joined in the chat, man. Thank you so much. Dirk, Curtis, everyone that's in the chat, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you guys will get together one day. We'll set something up. Have fun. It's going to be a positive season. I still believe it, guys. It's going to be a positive season. Don't let anything distract you. And I'm talking this to Dolphin fans. You see something in the media, we all freak out. Don't freak out. I know Greer has a game plan. I know McDaniel has a game plan. I know that Weaver has a game plan. So, you too, brother. You have a great evening, and thank you once again. And, hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like button. And you guys have a good night. And see you guys soon. Thank you so much for everything.